Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica and today I'm doing another one of my Tarot in Practice videos where I look at practical applications of tarot. So today, or rather tonight, I thought I would share with you a spread that I have done pretty much every single month for the past probably close to 15 years. I obtained the spread when I did my tarot studies in New Zealand with Fern Mercier, and it is a new moon spread, so, or rather a moon phases spread. So seeing that we're coming up to the new moon, which is exact tomorrow here in Queensland, I thought I would share the spread and the actual tarot reading that I did with it for the coming lunar month. So I keep my spread in my little tarot compendium. I actually did a little video on this a while back, looking at, you know, how I basically keep my spreads, which is in this little folder. And as you can see, it is the very first spread that comes up, the very opening spread for all my spreads. And in here I keep, you know, all sorts of tarot spreads that I use from time to time, but this is the one that I refer to over and over again, and it is called the Moon Phases spread. So as I have mentioned, I obtained this from Fern Mercier during my tarot studies with her, and I'm not sure if she designed the spread or whether it came from somewhere else. I apologize for not being able to identify and, you know, recognize the author of the spread. But essentially, it's a 6-card spread that I do every new moon, and it starts off with a significator or the overall influence right in the middle, and then we start off with the new moon. So here it's called the dark moon, but I use this as essentially the card for the new moon. Then we move on to the first quarter, the full moon, then the last quarter, and finally the balsamic moon. And so because the second card is the card for the new moon, I do this at a new moon to get an idea or a snapshot of the overall energy for the coming lunar month, not calendar month, okay? And you've got a little bit of a legend with this up here that basically says, you know, the second card at the dark moon or new moon is a time of rest, gestation, or incubation. The third card for the first quarter is a time of action or crisis. The fourth card at the full moon, a time of awareness or relationship. The fifth card, again, for the last quarter, is a card of for a time of action or crisis, and the sixth card is return to rest, gestation, or incubation, which is the balsamic. Okay, so with that being said, I have my spread here, which I've already done. You know, it's a really wonderful ritual to set aside time for yourself at each new moon and to you know, relax into a bit of me time, a bit of self-care, light up my candle and do the spread and see what the coming lunar month will bring for me. So I thought I'd share with you my spread, or what I received for this coming lunar month, seeing that we're coming into a new moon tomorrow, a new moon in Gemini. And for me tonight, I'm also having my cup of tea, which is tonight I'm having a ginger and turmeric tea, which is why I'm not sure if you can see my fingers are stained the beautiful orange from the turmeric, I finally harvested a small delectable batch from my container garden that I have in my backyard, and it's beautiful. So we start off with the central card, and for me I received the 9 of Pentacles, and isn't this a really great card to receive? I don't know about you, but I rather am fond of the 9 of Pentacles. It's a card of material plenitude, of having everything looked after in the material plane, a card of material comforts and enjoying those, whether it is beautiful clothing, food. I love the grapes here, and of course they're symbolic of riches and abundance, whether it's jewelry or just the lady in her garden. You know, she looks very content. And so this is the overall influence card for the month. If you remember back to the spread, the card in the middle, card number 1, is the overall influence. So that's the overall influence for the month, and I can tell you I'm very happy to say that. The next card, which is basically at this present moment, so tomorrow the new moon is exact, but its influence is already being felt. It is felt for a couple of days really, and I'm having the Strength card. So I know that these few days around this new moon I am called upon to draw on my inner strength, both for myself and for those around me. Okay, the Strength card isn't necessarily just all about you. It can be you having the strength for others, you know, around you, and being their rock, really. So you might be in a good place yourself, but if the people that are close to you or close friends and relatives aren't in a good place, then the Strength card shows that you need to be there for them. And I've certainly felt this over the last couple of days. You know, I'm very much aware that there are a lot of people struggling and dealing with all sorts of things out there in the world. And so I'm mindful to just do my best in my conversations with them and my support for them. Moving on to the first quarter. So this is the time of action or crisis. I don't really like the word crisis because it's suggestive of, you know, crisis isn't very good, but essentially a time of action. So I get the Queen of Pentacles, and to me the Queen of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles are very similar cards, very on the same page, I guess. With the Queen of Pentacles, she's also in a good place financially and materially. There's abundance around her. But this is also a card of home comforts, of enjoying the comforts of your home and garden, of nurturing and taking time to nurture oneself, you know, in that sort of Mother Earth energy, you know, nourishing foods and meals and gardening and harvesting things from one's garden and just enjoying the sanctuary and the coziness of a home. I often associate that with the Queen of Pentacles for me. At the full moon, I received the King of Rods. So I have 2 court cards already here. So these are qualities, right? They're qualities, they're a type of personality or personal character that I will be embodying at these different times. Okay, and the King of Rods is very much about leadership, taking charge, and demonstrating vision and optimism as well. And it's a card of action, you know. The King of Rods takes action and shows, essentially, to me, this is a card of leadership material. And I really like it, all right? It's a positive card. It's a vibrant card. I love, you know, the brightness of the yellow in these 3 cards. It's really, really nice. So the fourth card is a time of awareness or relationship. Okay, this is the full moon card. And, you know, full moon can also be a very intense time. There's an intensity to full moons. I was born on a full moon. And so I'm very familiar with that energy. And getting a card of action sits quite well with me. It means that I'll be busy, but busy in a constructive way. All right. Next we have, the last quarter. And I have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is, you know, the feeling that I got when I saw this card was that of decision making. I'll have to make a decision here between two paths, or potentially, or two options, okay? And neither is very clear. And finally, we come to the last card, the Balsamic Moon card. And we conclude the month with the Page of Wands. Right, so I felt like I am moving from this space of indecision or trying to make a decision to actually having made a decision with a Page of Wands. Right, because here I am exploring a new beginning. All right, something new, a new project, a new beginning, something along those lines. So that in a nutshell is the moon phases spread for a coming lunar month. And, you know, when I do the spread, aside from looking at each individual card and seeing how it relates to the moon phase, I also take in the overall energy of the spread and seeing if there's a pattern. So, for example, in this spread here, I notice, first of all, there's only one major card, which is around this time for me, the Strength card. All the rest are minor cards. Also, the overall energy for the coming lunar month is one that is dominated by Pentacles and Wands. To me, the combination of Pentacles, the Earth, and Wands, fire, is one of business and action. It's not so much about feelings or emotions or even taking time out. This is very much of a month of doing as opposed to a month of stillness. Even though I have this Two of Swords here, but you know, you got to draw your intuitive ability when you do these spreads. And for me, the very first thing that struck me when I saw this Two of Swords is that I'm going to have to make a decision around that time or be faced with a choice. Okay, so anyway, I shall see how the coming lunar month progresses. But for now, yeah, I just wanted to share the spread. I think it's a fantastic spread. And as I said, I have done this almost every single month. I think for the past 15 years, I think there might have been maybe a couple of months when I haven't done this spread. It's like a bit of a religious ritual or really a spiritual ritual of sorts for me. When I sit down, you know, no one is around me when I do these spreads. This is my own time alone, and I just want to get a flavor for what the coming lunar month brings. And it's always been fascinating to look back and to see how these cards correlate to what actually happens as the month progresses. That would be my number one recommendation, is to always write these down and keep a bit of a journal, because you'll look back and you'll be quite amazed at times. Sometimes they can be very mundane, you know, day-to-day things that happen in relation to the cards that you receive. But then there'll be other times when it will leave you speechless. So anyhow, I encourage you to try it, or to even create your own new moon or moon phases spread for a coming lunar month, if you don't already have one, or if you like to do a custom one. They're a great way to connect tarot to moon phases and astrology. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and until my next video, as always, I thank you in gratitude for watching and for supporting my channel. Until next time, take care.